So this video is another version of standing alignment. I have a different video that I call ski jump alignment. This is another way to think about it that maybe works for you. So as you're standing, many people will be standing with their hips jutted forward. So the first thing I want you to do is just let your hips go back. If you tend to stand and do a lot of squeezing back here in your deep hips or in your glutes, you're just going to think about letting that widen and soften, letting the sit bones spread wide. Okay, so you're going from here to here. And then I've talked about having your neck and your spine grow long and tall like a helium balloon coming up. But a new version of that I like even better is to pretend like you're suspended from the ceiling from thick rubber tubing that's supporting you and it's supporting your spine and it's holding you from the ceiling. And then you're actually reaching your heels to try to find the floor. So that's what I want you to try to imagine is happening. So it's a subtle lengthening of the spine happening by reaching your heels into the ground and your feet into the ground. That's not going to happen well if you're here. So you need to be stacked and that chin is in, so it's not here. Chin is in, neck is long. And then that subtle idea of reaching from that loaded tubing that's suspending you from the ceiling. So if you notice what happens, if you go from this kind of standing alignment to that idea of that subtle lengthening, what many people find is a subtle connection to their deep core, where it just comes on automatically. I don't like it if you're having to go around all day tightening up your core, pulling navel in. Many people are just doing that automatically, and that's not a great habit, and it doesn't lead to good breathing. So we want it to be more automatic based on how you're standing, that it just comes on its own. So if you just play with that, feel what that feels like, kind of let go through this upper area, checking can you breathe. And then from here, once you have that idea of just this subtle deep core, it doesn't feel like a whole lot, it's very subtle. But then what I want you to notice is if you reach, if I'm reaching out here, I can really feel some of these more superficial abdominals kick in. So I reach like this, oh, they're kicking in, I feel them working, and then I come back and they soften. There's still a deep core connection, but it's not this huge connection that I'm feeling now. And then I come back and again it softens. The same thing if you're going to be lifting something, then I'm going to feel them kick in and then they lessen. So that's what should be happening with our core all day long, is that it depends on the amount of tension that you use depends on the task at hand. And it should be variable. They shouldn't be always clenching and holding and tightening all day long. You should be able to relax and sit and not have much of anything happening in the core. And then when you stand, there's just a little more. And then when you reach, there's even more. So that's what I want you to start to notice as you go about your day, doing things, working in the kitchen, bending down. Does your core kind of come on and off and on and off? And if that's happening, hopefully that's happening with the pelvic floor as well, just automatically. Versus if you've been taught or have just been, for whatever reason, holding things tight here, then you're not going to get that variability and you're going to have a harder time breathing. And that tends to go along with what I see with people with back pain and that are trying to protect all the time. It makes it hard to move efficiently. So you see if you can start to let go of some of that and find a more automatic and coordinated core.